Here are the instructions, a tutorial on how to do the second project, which is called Vacationland Topography on your projects for Photoshop sheet. First thing we're going to do is create our new file, and it needs to be, let's change it to inches. This is a postcard size, so we're going to make it 5 inches by 3 inches. And if we wanted to print this out, we need to raise the resolution to 300. And then you would just put your name, and then underscore, and then since this one is so long, we're just going to call it Vacationland. So here is our canvas. I'm going to open up the couple of pictures that I have downloaded, and open those up in our palette as well. Move things around a little bit. So I just have 3 pictures that are somewhat related to Texas in some way or fashion, some way to get to everything. I'm going to unlock our background and call it layer 0. So if we need to, we can edit that. What you're going to use here is the type mask. So if you hold down this button and you are going to go to the third one, which is right here, hold it down and you can see horizontal type mask or vertical type mask. We're only doing one letter at a time, so it really doesn't matter which mask you use. But clicking on your picture, it's going to turn it red, and then I'm going to type in my letter. And if I'm up here, it still has the text type tool, but if I move away, it changes to the move arrow tool. And I'm going to make this a little bit of a fatter or thicker one, so we can actually see the letters a little bit better. And I'm also going to increase my size and see what that actually kind of looks like. Let's see. Let's use one a little bit. There's one. Okay, so I've changed the size, and now I can rearrange it or move it to where I want it to be. When I do this, I can actually see what I'm selecting because it's clear instead of red. And then I'm going to take the check and just say that that's what I want to do, and take my move tool now, and it's still selected. But now if I'm inside, you see that it added the scissors to it. So that means I can cut it out and I can drag it to my other one. And now I have that exact picture that I need from the picture that I used for that. So now I'm going to close that one. I'm done with that one. I'm going to do the same thing with this. This is the river walk. And we'll bring it down a little bit and type in my E. I like using the capital letters on this one. Just let's see if I can get the boat in there as well. A little bit of the water, a little bit of the boat. Hit my check mark. Go to my move tool and move it over here. So now I have the T and the X. I'm sorry, the T and the E. And I'll do the same thing with the X in this one. Mask it. This one's going to be a little bit smaller. It looks like the letter's just too big, really. So we're going to actually shrink this one down, and we might have to increase it a little bit when we bring it over to our picture. Maybe a little bit more. I'm trying to line it up just right. I'm a little bit off on the top, but that should be okay for our purposes. And so you see, that's what the picture is like. So now, I'm done with those two. And now I have these three pictures that I will adjust. And on my layers, because it moved it over, it's not a text layer anymore, it's an image layer. So just to make it easier, I'm going to rename these. There we go. Just so I know which letters I'm dealing with at what time. Another thing that I want to do is add some blending to this, and I'm going to add a stroke or an outline to each one and make it a little bit easier to read when I'm up against a background. And again, if I'm going to use the same ones, I can hold down the Option button and drag my effects to each one, and then it has each one is outlined, and I added also a little inner glow to separate the edges just a little bit more, and I could do some other stuff to it. The last thing that I want to do with this, and I'll just bring up my finished product one. So that's one of the ones that I've done before. I want to take this, I'm going to copy this layer and move it over here. It's a little big, so I need to shrink it down a little bit more. And try to center it up a little bit. Now this one, I need to make this down at the bottom so the letters are not covered up by it. So now I have my map of Texas, an outline of the map of Texas, and my letters, and I could add something else to it if I wanted to, some other text in this, but the main thing is to use the type mask whenever you're actually building this and making your postcard for Texas tourism. See you next time.